We're starting with a challenge thousands of teens face every year. Being a teenage mom can often mean putting your life goals on hold. If college was the plan, only about 10% complete a 2 or 4 year program. My first guest didn't let statistics derail her. Jasmine Robinson became a mother while attending college. She faced judgment, rejection, and the challenges of raising children while pursuing her college education. Because of her experience, she's now helping other student mothers to succeed. She's the founder of Collegiate Moms Coalition. She joins us ahead of her annual scholarship pageant. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we're going to share how that pageant really kind of changed things for you in a second. But first, just starting out with native Houstonian, raised by strong women, but your mom and grandma were also young mothers.
Yes, they were. Yeah, they were.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, they were both teen moms, so I'm the product of that. And, you know, I thought statistically I would do something different, and, you know, that's just not the case in regards to just being a young mom, but it didn't stop me from going to school.
Growing up, did you see the hardships that they faced?
Yes, I absolutely did. Because my grandmother was so young, she got married young as well. She didn't pursue her education. She's always worked and, you know, did really well for herself. She was a beautician. And my mom, she went to school for 1 year and actually a semester, and then she dropped out when she found out she was pregnant.
Yeah. All right. So you were determined not to repeat that pattern, as you just said. You were going to break that cycle. You go off to college with the intentions of doing what?
I just wanted to finish, honestly.
Yeah, you're like, I'll major in anything as long as, but you did major in some cool stuff.
Yeah, I did. I got my bachelor's in architecture, and then I got my master's in community development a semester early.
Yeah, so you're off at Prairie View A&M.
Yes.
You are at home, not under the advisement of your parents and like a lot of college kids.
Yeah.
And so you start seeing someone, and then all of a sudden you realize...
Yeah, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, obviously we know how babies get here, but I was not educated on sex. And so even when I went to college, I had never had sex before until I went to school. And so I was honestly shocked because
which is interesting because both your grandmother and your mother got pregnant early and still didn't share that with you, which is, you know, something we deal with in this society.
Yes.
That we say, no, we don't want school teaching our kids, but are you as parents teaching your kids? And then therein lies part of that problem, right? Okay, so you find out you're pregnant. How did that hit you?
Like a ton of bricks, honestly. I didn't really believe it the first time. And then the second time I went to go get birth control, and they were like, ma'am, you're 4 months pregnant, and it's a girl. And do you want to see the sonogram? I was like, oh my God.
You were going to get birth control.
Yeah, I was going to get birth control.
Yeah, okay, so you've got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about, let me drop out and try to regroup? Did that ever come across your mind?
No, because for me, I knew that I only had a plan A. I didn't have a plan B. And so dropping out was just never even a thought in my mind. I just knew it's going to be hard, but I'm a person that decides to choose my heart. I'm like, it could be hard now or it could be hard later. So which one do you want to do? Yeah. And I'd rather do it while I'm young and able-bodied to just kind of get it done. And so that was, for me, just not an option.
Mother of 2 by 22, how did you make it work? We always say it takes a village. I'm sure you had part of that village at home that raised you, right?
Yeah, I just had strong faith, honestly, and I was very resourceful, and I used the tools that were around me, and I say that to every young woman who gets pregnant. If you can get government assistance, get it, but have a plan, you know. And for me, it was just to finish, to get me through, and it's okay to have that supplemental assistance. And now, you know, being someone who has a corporate career and have for over a decade, you know, I am someone who's contributing to society, and so, you know, it's my tax dollars going to that as well.
Yeah, you beat those odds. A lot of people don't beat those odds. And you had a lot of people that were basically reinforcing the societal stereotype, like, oh, you're not gonna, you don't need to, and you said you faced that judgment. You know, that's something else that was really hard. What were friends and other students saying to you?
Honestly, nobody really said it to my face, and I don't know what it was with that, but I definitely heard. Yeah, I felt it. I saw the stares. Just the, you know, it just depended on the situation, but I definitely noticed that I was different. I was standing out, and there were little comments that I would hear here and there that, oh, someone else said this about you, but it was never someone directly saying it to me.
That you could stop in the hallway and say, wait a minute, right? Okay. So, you know, as you mentioned earlier, looking for assistance any way you could, and then you hear about there's a pageant, and along with that pageant is going to come some scholarship money. So naturally, you decide to enter the pageant, but you were told
no.
Because?
I was told no, and I asked why. I was pulled aside after the interest meeting.
You got 3.6
and they were told
GPA,
me,
you're a model student.
Mm-hmm. And they told me, well, you can't be a mom, but also you can't have ever had an abortion. You also could have never lived with someone, like cohabitated with the opposite sex. You can't be married, you can't be divorced. And for me, all I wanted was a scholarship money. Yeah. I cared nothing really about being in a pageant. And so when that happened, I went to the president of the university, the vice president of the university, and I was told that our idea of this pageant queen is someone who's pure. And that was pretty much it.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
All right, but your academic advisor gave you some advice.
Yeah, he, Mr. Frederick Roberts, he was just like, if you can't join them, beat them. Do your own thing and make it about moms and put them on a pedestal and show everyone how awesome and amazing they are. And so we did the pageant for 2 years. We got support of the Student Government Association. At the time, they gave us the scholarships, and we sold out each time. We were on the front page of the newspaper, and you know, it just became a thing, and people were just so excited about it, and I think the students really connected to it.
Yeah, and you've become a movement now, and let me back up and say, look, you know the hardships that can happen. You know that not everybody has a network that can help them get through, or the determination or personality.
Right.
So like, if you can not get pregnant,
yeah.
then hold off and wait a while,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
However, it does happen. So the after the fact is what you're dealing with here.
Right.
And so when you say it's become a movement, you decided to start a nonprofit, not just a pageant, but a nonprofit.
Yes. So my nonprofit really focuses on where our main mission is education and motherhood go hand in hand, because too often do people separate the two. Yeah. And I just feel like if you ensure that a mom is economically able to take care of her children, then you heal a nation, because we're raising the babies. And so, you know, if we're at a disadvantage, our children follow suit. And it just makes it really hard for them. So now we do financial literacy classes, partner with different banks. I do a lot of volunteering. I give out a lot of things. And I partner with other nonprofits who, you know, they get diapers, wipes, all the different things for the moms. And so, I just try to be a resource.
Yeah, and empower them. All right, the Miss Collegiate Mom America pageant, so that's coming up now. And then what do you look for in those women who are your contestants? Honestly,
we just look for people to be themselves. And the majority of these young ladies, I think we've only had one over the course of 3 years who's ever even been in a pageant. So most of them, this is their very first time. Even a part of the pageant, we have a body positivity section where it's not even judged, but they come out in, you know, one-piece bathing suit, and they kind of just strut their stuff. And behind the scenes, those young ladies have cried and just been so excited, because they're like, I haven't worn a bathing suit since I've had a baby, and all of them are in it together. So I just look for someone who's genuine and just, you know, just doing their thing, honestly.
It can be about you for a moment, because as we know, once you have that child, it ain't about you.
No.
for the next 18 to 20 something years, right? Right. All right. How old are your kids today, and what are they doing today?
They're 17 and 16, Kennedy and Kimura. They are, one plays basketball, and the other one, she's just the little beauty queen. She loves to get her hair done, her nails done. She's just super girl. They're both very girly.
She's a beauty queen. Okay, we don't want her in
she's
your
just,
pageant, but maybe the other pageant we can do. Right. But if something should happen, there's the other pageant. All right.
For sure.
But no, Jasmine, well, thank you very much for sharing your story. You know, I think
you.
so many times when society says this is what you're going to do and what's going to happen, we have a tendency to believe it, as opposed to go against it and say, just watch, just give me nothing but an opportunity and see what I do with it. All right, thank you very much. The Miss Collegiate Mom America pageant takes place Sunday, June 14th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Community Cultivation Network. All proceeds will benefit the Collegiate Moms Coalition nonprofit organization. For more information, visit collegiatemomscoalition.org or follow them on Instagram at Collegiate Moms.